Okay, get yourself ready for your morning practice. Sit yourself on a lift and just feel that you are sitting evenly. So levelness right from the beginning is really important because it helps you to just ground yourself. And grounding allows you to become conscious of the physical body and the way that gravity interacts with it. Hold onto your knees, look down at the floor, look at something that isn't moving, and elevate the heart area upwards, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Listen to the sound of the breath as it enters and exits. And then release your hands, bring your hands into Namaste. Push the palms firmly together, lengthen from your armpits into your elbows. Just establishing whether you are level at the seat bones. And then allow your eyes to gently close. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Just focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Filling the lungs from the bottom to the top. And emptying your lungs from the top to the bottom. With an exhalation, draw your chin down to meet your chest. Spend a moment to seek to acknowledge or generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area. And then place the backs of your hands down towards your knees, palms facing upwards. Bring the tip of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb. Just a gesture of wisdom and physical intelligence and peacefulness that we can carry into our practice as an intention. Just gently raise your head and allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Hold onto your knees. Hold onto your knees and elevate the heart really consciously up towards the ceiling, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Just look forwards, look at something that doesn't move. And keep your eyes still in the sockets. Just looking at something that doesn't move. Focusing on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Focusing on the sensation of the lungs filling evenly. How the chest rises upwards and outwards to accommodate the inhalation and relaxes to accommodate the exhalation. Keeping your eyes still in your sockets just helps to quieten the brain and to draw your focus into the breath. Drawing your focus into the breath helps to draw your focus into the physical body. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the right. Again, aiming to just look at something ahead of you that doesn't move. Keeping the head just looking forwards rather than over the shoulder. And then turn from the abdomen, from the ribs, from the shoulders, but just keeping the neck just looking forwards. Observe how the pose feels for you, the physical sensations that arise through the turn. And then come back to the center, hold onto your knees. Again, aim to keep your eyes still in the sockets. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the left. Again, just keeping your eyes still in the sockets, turning from the abdomen, from the ribs and the shoulders, keeping the neck soft. Observing the physical body as the vessel of action. Dig the backhand into the floor, roll onto the front edge of the seat bones. Turn the chest, draw your attention into the physical sensations of the pose. Use your out breath to intensify the turn. Just listen to the breath and breathe. Come back to the center. Come off your lift and then sit back onto your heels, big toes together, your knees apart. Allow your shins to just mould themselves into the floor. Press the shins into the ground. Press the shin bone into the shin skin so that the thighs activate, so that the shins activate. Elevate the heart area up to the ceiling and then come forwards, keeping the seat bones down on the heels, keeping your head lifted as you come forwards. That's a fundamental facet of forward bending. Not coming forwards with the head, coming forwards with the heart area. And then at the last minute, bring your forehead down. Use a block under your head if it doesn't reach.
Use a block under your head if you lose contact between the seat bones and the heels. Press the seat bones down onto the heels. If they won't stay in contact, then you can put a block or a folded blanket between the seat bones and the heels. Press back into the heels. So press your hands into the floor and then lengthen down into the hips. But at the same time, lengthen from the hips into the armpits, into the elbows, into the wrists, into the palms, just stretching out for energy. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Press the forehead firmly into the ground. Let the facial muscles relax. Let the facial skin bunch at the eyebrows as you push your forehead into the floor, almost trying to lift the forehead away from the, or push the forehead away from the knees a little. Just gently does it. Just observe how that feels, and if you feel that you're overdoing it, then release it. If you feel that you're underdoing it, then work more deeply.
Come up onto your knees, turn your toes under, come up into dog down. Observe how your dog down feels for you today. Straighten your legs, access the hips, lift the tailbone up towards the ceiling. Just see how the body feels. Maybe bend your knees a little. Tilt the tailbone and the seat bones up towards the ceiling so that you move into the shoulder blade region. And then re-straighten the legs. Just so that you can activate the seat bones. Lifting them away from the backs of the thighs. Push the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. Tighten the kneecaps. Work for straight legs. Just observe how the pose feels for you today. Are your finger knuckles pressing into the floor? If they don't, then you lose action in the shoulders. It become heavy. So press consciously the finger knuckles into the floor. And then come forwards. And then up into a standing position. Bring your feet as wide as the mat. Have a couple of blocks for your hands. So we'll pass through half uttanasana. Bring your feet as wide apart as the mat. Feel that your heels are touching the edge of the mat, even if they kind of overlap the edge of the mat slightly. Feel that the heels are touching the edge of the mat. Feel that the little toes are touching the outside edge of the mat. Bring your hands into your hips. Let's have a quick look down. Make sure that your big toes are closer together than your heels. Stamp the neck of the big toe firmly into the floor, and then stretch out into the little toe side. Elevate the heart area up to the ceiling. Wing your elbows towards each other, and then hinge at the hips. Keep the head lifted. It's the way of forward bending. Keeping the head lifted, not trying to come down with the head, coming down with the heart. Reach down and find the blocks underneath your hands. Activate your legs really firmly, tighten the kneecaps. That's one of the first priorities. It feels really odd if you're not used to it, to straighten the kneecaps. It feels like your legs are going to snap, but they won't. That's what your kneecap is there for. So press the kneecap into the back of the knee. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. Lift the fronts of the thighs up towards the top of the legs. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards so that the backs of the thighs broaden outwards. Project the chin and the chest forwards, keeping the head lifted at all times. When I'm in the class with people, I see this a lot. People drop in the head, but then look what happens in the back. The back starts to round. So we want to straighten the back, we want to concave in the shoulder blade region. If you can come down lower, then do. Projecting the chin and the chest forwards. If this is feeling okay in your back, then you can go from here into full uttanasana. Sometimes it's a good way to come into full uttanasana. If you can reach down to the floor, then do. If there's no problem with your back, then bring the thumb into the crease of the opposite elbow, wrap your fingers around your elbows and then hang down. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, just observing how your back feels. Projecting the chin and the chest forwards. I've come back into half uttanasana because my back feels a little twingy this morning, so I'm just reading what my body is telling me. Okay, will everyone release your hands down to the floor, come back into half uttanasana. Bring the hands into the hips, bend your knees on the way up if you need to, and then come up into Tadasana. Have the inner edge of your feet together, and then just be in Tadasana. Feel that the feet are firmly planted together, the inner edge of the feet touching. Lift up into the chest. Just look forwards, look at something that doesn't move. Just get your breath. Just focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Okay, we're going to do Virabhadrasana I. So I just need to move my mat a little bit so I've got more space because of head of ceiling height. So stay in Tadasana. Bring your arms out nice and wide in toward your chest, and then step or jump your feet apart. Just have your hands on your hips, lift up from the abdomen into the diaphragm, up into the collarbone, wing the elbows towards each other. So I want you to turn your left toes in steeply, so more than you would do for Trikonasana. So turn the left toes in as much as you can, and then rotate on the heel of the right foot. So at this stage, that heel probably isn't turned out enough, because we want to bring the hips level, and it's really hard to do that if that heel isn't in the right place. So pick up the heel of the back leg, turn it all the way out so that the legs can turn inwards, so you can get this really strong action of Tadasana in the pose, turning the legs. Now this back leg is going to stay straight. So have your hands on your hips, make sure the hips feel level with each other. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards, especially that back leg, but also with the front leg. So the back of the thigh broadens outward, bringing the hip with it. Lift up into the chest. Raise your arms up to the ceiling, reach out the hips up into the fingertips. And then bend the front knee. Find a right angle. Sometimes you have to creep apart a little. It doesn't matter if the back heel lifts off the floor, but but just keep working to draw it down. Keep reaching from the hips up into the armpits, up into the arms. Find a right angle with that front leg. Reach up, turn that back leg, keep that kneecap of that back leg really firm. Press the heel down into the floor. Come back to the center. Just feel the energy of the breath. Release your hands, turn your right toes in, your left leg and foot all the way out. Turn that heel all the way out so that the hips can come level. Turn the fronts of the thighs consciously inwards like you're doing Tadasana. Lift from the abdomen to the diaphragm to the collarbone, reach up, and then as you bend that front leg, keep that back leg straight, firmly pressing that back heel into the floor. You might have to creep apart a little to find that right angle. So Abigail, go a bit wider and then bend that knee a little more. Okay, and then come back, straighten the front leg, come back to face the front, and then step or jump the feet back together. Come back into Tadasana. So, it's quite a tricky pose, isn't it, Virabhadrasana I? And we don't do it very often, just because we do lots of other poses. But there's a really nice technique that we can use to try and activate that back leg, because the back leg is hard to activate. And I might have enough ceiling height here, so I might have to adapt the pose a little bit. But bring the end of your mat, into the wall. So imagine that this is a whole wall. I'm just going to have to try and use that as the wall. And then you stand flat against the wall. And then to start off with, you're going to turn your left toes out to the side. And then you step forwards, trying to keep that back heel connected to the wall. And then you turn those toes in of that back leg. Oh, sorry, I find it a bit weird to balance when I know that I can't raise my arms. Push that heel into the wall, and then as you come down, the heel might slide up the wall, but I want you to push really firmly back into that heel. So even if you have to lift it up a little, I want you to really bend that knee, even if you, actually I can raise my arm. So I want you to keep that back heel connected into the wall. It gives you loads of support, and then you can slide that heel down the wall. So just stand flat against the wall to start off with. Turn the left toes out slightly, just to about 1 o'clock, and then step wide with that front leg. Have your hands on your hips, keep that back heel connected to the wall. Turn the thighs inwards. Lift from the abdomen up to the diaphragm. Raise your arms if you can. Bend that knee. But keep pushing. Actually, no, keep your arms down. Keep pushing into that back leg, into that back heel as you find your right angle. So it's easier if you've got your hands on your hips, I think. So push the heel into the wall, find that right angle, and then raise your arms up. Try and slide your heel down that wall. So push into the heel. That's it. Bend that knee. So get a little bit more. Abigail, bend the knee a bit more. But don't come forwards with the chest. Keep reaching up into the little fingers. That's it. So you can lift that heel up off the floor if you need to a little bit, Abigail, but push it into the wall. Good. Okay, excellent. Come back to the center. And then just step yourself back back onto the wall. So quite a challenging old pose, Virabhadrasana I, isn't it? But it really kind of gets the blood pumping. Turn the right toes out this time, so be right up against the wall, have your heels right up against the wall, turn your right toes out this time, just to like 11 o'clock, and then step or jump the feet forwards. Turn that back heel out, so just adjust that back heel, pressing it into the wall, and then bring the hips level, turn the thighs inwards. Keep the hands on the hips, lift the abdomen to the diaphragm, to the collarbone, to the chin. Bend that front knee. And then maybe adjust, push, lift that heel up the wall a little, that's okay, but push really firmly into that back leg. Find your right angle and raise your arms. Keep pushing that back heel really firmly into the wall. Feel how that really activates the leg. It really reminds you that the leg is there. So we often lunge forwards and forget about that back leg. So this way, there's no way that you forget about that back leg. Okay, straighten the leg, bring the feet parallel, and then step the feet back together. Just come back into Tadasana. Just getting your breath back. And then just bring the feet hip width apart, turn your toes in. Raise your arms, bring your thumbs into the crease of the elbows. Keep your head lifted as you come down, and then hang down. If there's a problem with your back, then just come halfway with your arms on the support. So whichever way you come in, just allow the legs to be firmly activated. Feel that they're evenly activated. Okay, and then when you're ready, bring your hands to the floor, bend your knees if you need to, and then come back down, come back up into Tadasana. And then just be in Tadasana. Just observe the feeling of the body, that way that the blood is pumping, the way that your energy feels like it's really moving through the body. Okay, we're going to just come down onto your knees for a moment. So we're going to do parivrtta parsvakonasana. Again, this is a pose that requires that same action in the back leg. You might want a block to help, so you have that. So I'll show you. I'll show you first. So you come up onto your knees. This is the cheats way of coming into it, really, but it's a really good way. Then you come up onto your knee, bend that right leg, and then you draw the abdomen across. And then I'll do it the other way around so you can actually see what I'm doing. So you draw the abdomen across. And at first you just do this. So you just get this really good turn. And then you bring your elbow onto the outside of the knee, and then you reach down. Find the block. Have the other hand on the small of the back, turn your toes under. And then you work to straighten that back leg. But you work that back leg in the same way. Turning, chest. So pretty invigorating, pretty strong, but pretty invigorating. If you're on a period, don't stay for too long in this pose. You can do the initial part. Maybe you won't want to do the full thing. So just lift up into the chest, elevate the heart area up to the ceiling and come up onto your knees. And then bring your right knee forwards. Just at this stage, press the shin of the back leg into the floor. Lift up into the chest and then turn towards the right side, drawing your abdomen across. So even if you get hold of it and sweep it across, have the block for your hand in case you need it. Bring the right hand into the small of the back. Lift up into the spine and turn. So you get a really good spinal turn. Then keep the spine long. Bring the elbow into the outside of the knee. Reach down, find the block, or if you can reach the floor, then all good. Bring the right hand into the small of the back. Turn your toes under that back foot, and then straighten that back leg. Turn in the chest. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Activating that back leg like you were doing in Virabhadrasana I. Listen to the breath. Lengthen the spine. Turn the chest. Extend into that back heel. Okay, bend the back leg. Uncoil, come down to your knee. And then sit yourself back down. So, fairly invigorating, isn't it? Very invigorating. Sit back on your heels, lift up into your chest. Maybe you feel that your body needs a bit more oxygen. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Just let the breath settle, let the heartbeat settle. And then come up onto your knees and then bring the left leg forward. Lift, push the knee into the floor, push the shin into the floor, and then lift up into the spine and turn to the left side. Find length in the spine and turn. Keep that length as you stretch forwards. Bring your elbow to the outside of the knee. Turn the abdomen a little more. Find the block or the floor. Bring the other hand into the small of the back. Turn your toes under. And then work to straighten that back leg. Turn in the chest. Make sure you breathe. Push that heel into the wall, the imaginary wall. Okay, bend the knee. Come back down onto both knees. And then sit back on the heels. Just sit back in the heels. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. So it's quite a tricky one to get deep breaths, isn't it? So you have to really lift the chest. So when you're turning the chest, it feels a little more restricted in the breath. Reach up into the chest, come forwards, hinging at the hips. And then just rest forwards into Adho Mukha Virasana, keeping the seat bones firmly connected to the heels. Breathing in through the nose. If you find it difficult to catch your breath after parivrtta, parsvakonasana, then have a block underneath your head. Just let the body stretch into the pose. Come up onto your knees, turn your toes under, and then come up into dog down. If you're not doing dog down, you can do supta, baddha.
So supta baddha, laying on your back with your feet together, your knees apart, hands resting on your lower ribs. Just let your head hang down, but really firmly activate the legs. Kneecaps press into the backs of the knees. Activate the thighs, lifting the fronts of the thighs up to the top of the leg. Turning the fronts of the thighs inwards so that your heels start to separate. Lift the seat bones away from the backs of the thighs. Lift the tailbone up towards the ceiling. Keep the palms pressing into the floor. Keep the finger knuckles pressing into the floor. Just take deep inhalations and exhalations. Okay, come down onto your knees. Sit back on your heels. Just observe the energy that you have released through your practice so far. Just listening to the sound of the breath. Okay, and then just come down onto your back and into supta baddha. Just to ground your energy. Let the knees fall apart. Have your hands on your lower ribs. If there's stiffness in your hips, you can put blocks on the outsides of your thighs, but don't go there instantly unless it's really uncomfortable. What I want you to do is to push the heels consciously together. And then there's a different feeling in the hips altogether. Maybe when you press the heels together, the hips feel more compact. Press the outer edge of the feet together. Of course, if this is uncomfortable, of course, put the blocks there. But if pressing the heels together changes that, then just allow that action to support the hips, but don't overdo it. Press the outer edge of the feet together. Lengthen from the heel into the little toe, so that the legs become really firmly activated. Lengthen from your inner heel along the inner calf muscle around to the inner knee, and then around to the outer knee, and then up into the outer thigh, up into the hip. From the hip forwards into the inner groin, from the inner groin into the inner knee, from the inner knee to the outer knee, from the outer knee into the outside of the calf, down into the heels, from the heels into the inner ankle, from the inner ankle into the inner calf to the inner knee, the inner to the outer knee, outer thigh into the hip, into the front of the groin, into the inner thigh, into the inner knee, into the outer knee, into the outer shin, into the outer foot. So just find that figure of 8 action in the legs. Raise your arms up to the ceiling. Really spread the fingers. Keep the outer shoulder blades down on the floor, but keep the arms extended. Hold on to an imaginary box of air. Squeeze it like it's precious. And then lower it to the floor.
keeping your arms straight, bringing it to the floor beyond your head. Keep that box of air really secure as you keep the arms straight, as you lengthen down, keeping that box of air, squeezing that imaginary box of air, keeping the hands shoulder width apart. And then see, do your thumbs reach down to the floor at the same time? So you can do that again, squeeze in that imaginary box of air, shoulder width apart. And then just release your arms, release the legs, just let the body release into the floor. Of course, if you need blocks under the thighs, then use them. Observe how perhaps your breath has slowed down a little, how your energy has settled a little. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. And then draw your knees towards each other. Have your feet together and your knees apart. Rest in the hips, and then draw your knees in towards your chest. Just have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom. Just a gentle massage on the spine. Bring the feet onto the floor. Cross the right foot across the top of the left thigh, and then get hold of the back of the left knee and draw that left knee in towards the chest with the right foot on top of the left thigh. Supta kapotasana. Release the knee, uncross the foot, and then bring the left foot across the top of the right thigh. And then get hold of the back of the right knee and draw that right knee in towards the body. Just stretching out the hamstrings and the hip and the buttock flesh and the glutes. Try and keep the sacrum down on the floor. And then release the right leg, release the left leg. Pull your knees in towards your chest. Have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom. Just listen to the breath. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. And then roll yourself over onto your side and sit yourself up. And then grab a blanket for your head, just a folded blanket for your head. Guide yourself down along the centre of your mat. And then release your arms into the floor. Just have some space in the armpit chest. And allow yourself to release completely into the floor. Let the physical body become heavy. physical body become heavy on the ground, but out of that heaviness, observe the irrepressible sensation of positive energy radiating from the bones and to the muscles. Radiating from the bones and into the muscles and into the organs. It's the bones, the muscles and the organs, including the flesh and the skin. So it's almost as though the body is glowing through the skin with golden light. Use your in-breath and your out-breath to distribute that feeling of energetic lightness down into the toes, into the fingertips, and all the way up into the top of the head. And wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. And then bring your knees in towards your chest. Have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom. And then very gently roll over onto your right side. Just stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out the top leg, come back up into a seated position. Just come into cross legs with your hands into Masti, just a final spinal lift. Drawing your breath in through your nose down into the abdomen. Conscious of the energy that you have released through your practice this morning, that good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the forward bends and the twists and the reclining poses bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Acknowledge the positive energy you have created inside. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then Gently release the backs of your hands down towards your knees, palms facing upwards. Bring the tip of the index fingers together with the tip of the thumb. And then as you gently raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. So hopefully you feel as though you've really lifted your energy. It's a really good stretch and you've got lots of good positive energy to put into your day. So thank you very much for joining me.